Hey, so this is the 1.5-year-old plantation that I pruned 1.5 months ago. And I want to show you today how much it has reshot from there. It's just incredible. I'm just walking through this now and I can see so many new shoots. It's just incredible. Right, well, I would like to begin with this ash tree there. Look at how much growth there is there. This is insane. That's like 80 centimeters of new growth just in the last few months only. Just insane. But the plant that I pruned the most here was actually the Tagasaste. And you can see all of these new shoots there. They weren't there when I pruned. So you can see it's already regrowing, and I'm glad that I did the pruning, because if I didn't, these plants would have gone absolutely crazy and would have shaded everything for the summer. But I'm still very glad to see how fast they reshoot, because that will protect all the other plants and they will continue providing biomass really well. I really like the Tagasaste, even though it's a quite time-consuming plant to prune. They're all recuperating really well, and that's due to quite a few factors. So first off, I irrigated the shit out of these lines for the first week. I did about 3 irrigations of about an hour each, and that really helped the plants to recuperate as fast as possible, because I did that because I was worried that the summer would kick in too fast, which tends to happen quite a lot in this place here. I remember in April 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it was like 40 degrees at this time. But now we're in May and it's not even 30 degrees. So that's just perfect. That's just perfect temperature for that. You can see there as well, the acacias are like shooting really nicely. I didn't prune these, but you can see they're growing really, really well. And yeah, that's what happens after pruning. You receive this kind of growth pulse, you add some irrigation to it, temperatures don't rise too much, and then you get the plants to really recover very, very fast. You can see as well this tree germander is responding like crazy as well. And yeah, it's really good to see. Like, can't believe that a year ago these plants were like just about like this height, more or less. And here we are now with massive trunks. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. The power of Syntropy at play there. That's the real power of plants when they put all together. No competition whatsoever. Can you see? Can you see all these plants doing so well? I realize right now that we have actually the combination of the 4 Australian powerhouses here. So you can see here acacia first off. Look how big it is. Like, this is bigger than the Tagasaste is actually. It has so much more biomass on it. By the end of summer, I can imagine it being at least 1.5 meters taller than this. Then we got the Myoporum letum. That's actually a New Zealand native, but there's a similar plant that comes from Australia, the Myoporum acuminatum, and they're pretty much the same really. Then we got the Casuarina. I mean, I only call it a powerhouse because it grows very fast and then thickens its trunk fast, but doesn't produce that much biomass, but it starts to give shade and a lot of good root exudates. And then we got the eucalyptus. This is river red gum, and I really like to see these big leaves like this. This shows that it's a really healthy one. And yeah, these are actually the ones that I base the new systems that I'm planting off. I just always use these plants, like this almond grove that is just behind there. I actually use these 4 plants as the main support species for the almonds. So that's what I learned with this plantation. The Tagasaste are all good and well, but as I'm saying many times, the thing is they're quite expensive to buy and they're quite difficult to propagate. And although they grow really well, some years if it's too wet, they can just die, and I don't want to take that risk. So I'd rather go with these 4 other plants that do really well. And yeah, this year as well, I must say, it's a real surprise for me to see how much the ash is a real strong one. This is desert ash, and it grows really well. It actually grows faster than poplar in this climate, and it handles drought really, really well. Actually, it sort of has a defense against drought mechanism, kind of like almonds. It drops all its leaves when it gets too hard for it, and then it ends up regrowing really nicely. And you think they're dead. Actually, they're not. None of the tips are burnt, and they just regrow from there. So quite an amazing high succession plant. I don't know yet how it's going to work with the pruning. I'm still to do a pollard on one of them and then see how they resprout from there. but ash is really well known to sprout really well after pruning. So I think it's just a matter of at what time of the year. And yeah, guys, how incredible is that? So amazing to see this. Just when you're pruning and then you see this response like this, it's so much satisfaction in it. Like, look at this diastaster there. It's got shoots. It's got new shoots everywhere. They are at least 30 centimeters long. For having pruned that a month and a half ago, that's very, very decent regrowth. Very satisfied with that. All right, hope you learned something valuable in this one, and I shall see you in the next.